Hello and welcome back. As always, thank you for joining me here. We're going to get very in-depth today. In other words, it's what we call here in the world a deep dive. You deserve nothing less, so you're invited to stick around for the next few minutes. I never know. In fact, none of us can ever know when we start out a video like this, or a workshop, or a talk, or a lecture, or even reading passages from a spiritual text, whatever that may look like. We never know what's going to really hit home for us when we set out. We don't know how it's going to land. What I can tell you for sure is that there is a message for you that you were meant to hear. And that's why this channel has found you. How it did, I have no idea. I don't really know. The important thing is you're here. These messages can sound very uplifting, and they may serve as, for you, concrete proof or a clarification of something that you've always known. You have always known. You have. That's why it will seem familiar. Now, it can also seem very abrupt, and you may find yourself in a position where you feel off put. That's putting it nicely. That is a normal part of the spiritual path, which is entirely for grown-ups. I mean, not that kids can't do it, they can, of course. But what I mean by that is that it's about bringing your darkness to light, all of it, and leaving none of it in the shadows, hiding out. It's about taking responsibility, grown-up, adult responsibility for your experience. All of it, the good, the hilarious, the bad, the ugly, the mean and vile, all of it, I know. All of it. Adult endeavor. That's what you're in for. You deserve nothing less. Many people, and your experience may appear to differ from someone else's, of course, but many people find a course in miracles, or shall we say, it finds them after they have gone through a lot of traditions. Maybe they've left the tradition or traditions that they were raised in and tried this, tried that. And this course finds them after much wandering. I don't know. It's what's known as a direct approach, which it is, because it gets right to the point and invites you to do the same. It is up to you to accept that invitation. It's always there, always given to you. Do you accept it? That's the question that only you can answer. Because, like it or not, each of us has what the Course refers to as free will. We can choose right now whether we allow the Holy Spirit to teach us or if we continue to follow the ego. We can choose truth or illusion, life or death, light or darkness, the Holy Spirit or the ego, God or the ego. That's our choice. If you choose not to decide, you have chosen the ego. You always have a choice. If you say you don't have a choice, you just chose for the ego again. And rather than see this choice as some form of drudgery, which we're all tempted to do, I invite you to see the beauty in it, the opportunity in it to choose yet again, right now, when else? A very interesting thing that we encounter here in the Course, throughout the Course, is the notion that we're always teaching. Now, this is very, very interesting because you may not view yourself as a teacher, yet you are. You don't have to actually be a teacher or a professor or a workshop facilitator or something like that by profession here in the world, though some of you are. You don't have to be that in order to continue to teach. Because each and every one of us is always teaching and learning at the same time. You're familiar with the adage, no one ever learns more than or as much as the teacher. How true. We're all both teacher and learner at the same time, and we're interacting with each other. Yes, this is a pixelated image on your screen. It's nothing. It's a collection of dots. Yet we're still interacting with one another. You interact with people that appear in your life every day, whether it's virtually or in person or whatever that may look like. You also interact with them in thought, just thinking about them. Why? There's only one mind, just one. So, yeah, we're always interacting with one another in that case, aren't we? We're both teaching and learning at the same time. So that begs the question, and we're invited to ask this question: what are we teaching? What are you teaching your brother? By your brother, I mean every other living thing with which you interact in many ways. What are you teaching? What are you showing to everybody? What are you demonstrating to them? Are you showing them love, or are you showing them blame, hatred, guilt, rage, pain, and fear? When you show up as angry, as blameful, as frightened or sick, you're showing your brother a picture of his own guilt, attesting to him that his guilt is real, that his condemnation is real, that it has real effects because he sees it in you. Of course, we're not brought up to think this way, but this is a Course in Miracles. Guess what? This Course found you for a reason. Many of you have been looking for this. Welcome. So that's how we often go about life, is showing our brother a picture of our own sickness, showing him his own sickness, in other words. It's like we're holding up a mirror to everyone else, and it's cracked and broken. It's covered with smudges and dark blotches. And that's what we're holding up. And our brother sees that and thinks, oh, I'm dark and blotchy. I'm guilty. Everything I've done to you is real. It has real, tangible effects. I can see it in you. Not a pretty picture to hold up. Here's the power. We have a choice to hold up a different picture. We can change our mind right now and choose to clean off the mirror, wipe it clean of all the smudges. And the beauty of this, we don't do it. We simply allow the Holy Spirit to run the show and do his thing, its thing. When we hold up a clear and healed picture, a loving picture, a forgiving picture, our brother sees himself in the mirror, the spotless mirror. We hold up the mirror, and our brother sees his own innocence, his own love and forgiveness. And as he sees it, we see our own, because your brother is you. Literally, there is no separation of any kind. All these 8 billion plus bodies, you know full well that's not who and what we are. Yeah, here in the world, we say that's who we are and we deal with it accordingly. This is a course in miracles. It's a course in mind training. It's spirituality. And as such, it takes place in the mind where it is needed. It is the mind that is sick, that sees itself as separate from God. It is not at all. And you do recognize this. You don't have to choose to accept that. You may delay that the rest of this lifetime. It's up to you. Hmm? Nobody's going to stop you from that, by the way. Remember, free will. The power to choose the Holy Spirit is the same power that you could use to choose the ego and denial and guilt, rage, blame, hatred, and fear. It's up to you, really, truly. Not a single one of us will stop you from doing that, should you so choose. You have the power of decision right now. When you exercise this power in favor of forgiveness and love, the Holy Spirit, you hold up a different picture. You present a different picture. You teach love to your brother instead of guilt and blame. You show up differently, teaching differently. As you teach, you also learn. You hold up the sparkling, brilliant mirror your brother sees himself, and in his joy and forgiveness and love, you see yourself. He's a mirror for you in the same way that you're a mirror for him. You're the one here watching this video. If you're a course student, you're the one studying this course. You hold up the mirror to him. You forgive. Start with yourself here. You forgive your brother. You attest to his complete innocence, his complete love, forgiveness, sinlessness, all of that. Teach love and forgiveness, show up loving and forgiving. You'll see yourself as loving and forgiving. Show it, share it with everyone else. They return it, you see it in yourself. Yeah. That's how it works, and it's what we're invited to do. To put it very simply, what are you teaching? Are you teaching love or are you teaching hatred? Are you teaching oneness? Are you teaching limitlessness? Or are you teaching death, destruction, and extraordinary limitation and fear? Are you showing up as a witness to your brother's purity and innocence, or are you showing up as a witness to his guilt? That's a choice that we all can make. We get to make this choice here in the present moment. It's a theme here in A Course in Miracles that recurs because we need it to recur. Quite frankly, do we not? We need it to recur because we've become so accustomed to seeing ourselves as separate beings that we naturally define and defend our personal territory and run amok and do what we consider to be life, which, despite its beautiful moments, is very ugly. And why wouldn't it be? It's based on the mistaken idea of separation. Mistaken idea. You have never left your home in God. This you do know. You do know this on a deep down level. You may never have heard it spoken and pointed out in this way, which is fine. You know who you are. You know where you are. You know what you are. You deep down know. You just know. That is why spiritual traditions impact us. As you well know, you've been on the path for who knows how long? A long time. A long time. In order to have found this, a long, long time. Mm. Oh, yeah. Haven't you? It's why things seem familiar. It's as though we've always known them. And of course we have. One of the most prominent and often quoted ideas from A Course in Miracles is this one. Ideas leave not their source. Ideas leave not their source. Thoughts remain in the mind of the thinker. It's very telling, and you know, again, you deep down recognize that what the Course says about us in many places is true. We're the thought of God, the creation of God. God's the creator. We are the created. We're known as the Son of God, singular and completely inclusive, by the way. This term, Son of God, does not refer to only the historical Jesus. That would be a limitation. We are the thought of God. Thoughts remain in the mind of the thinker. Where are you? Allow yourself to go there. Ideas leave not their source. Thoughts remain in the mind of the thinker. Ideas leave not their source. Capital S. Many of you were not taught this growing up. In fact, I would venture to guess that most of you were not. I certainly wasn't. As you may know, I was raised in not one, but two rather fundamentalist Christian traditions in the United States. And by fundamentalist, I mean our building's the only building. That sort of idea. Many of you can relate to that, but perhaps many of you do not, and that's fine. This course finds you wherever you appear to be. You're ready for this message. And over the past few minutes, you'll no doubt have heard what you're meant to hear. So, you know what that is. It is the Holy Spirit talking to you, speaking to you, communicating to you directly. What you see here on your screen is simply a medium of communication, and we're invited to show up, forgiving and loving, holding up that spotless mirror, giving the physical body to the Holy Spirit for the purposes of healing, for healing the mind. This is what it means to show up in the world with healing. You may rightly wonder, well, what am I supposed to do now? Well, you're drawn to this for a reason. Pay attention, specific attention to what landed for you. That's the Holy Spirit speaking to you. So heed that message, accept that message, and do as you're invited to do, instructed or told to do, whichever verb you prefer there. Your own directive for reaching our brother, people, will look very differently than someone else's. And that's the way that all works. The content, the meaning of the message is exactly the same, no matter where you live, no matter what your circle of friends looks like, no matter what your sphere of influence may be. What we do is exactly the same. Shine the light of truth. Light here in A Course in Miracles refers to right-mindedness. Seeing our brother as he is, seeing ourselves as we are. Love, holding up that spotless mirror and giving love to your brother. Attesting to his innocence rather than his guilt. And when he recognizes himself in the mirror and returns that, you recognize yourself. That's how it works. So along the way, questions are inevitable. And you're welcome to ask them. In fact, I invite them. The comment thread here on YouTube is an excellent place to bring your questions and inquiry. I mean, what is spirituality after all but extraordinarily deep self-inquiry? A Course in Miracles has found you. And whether you continue to practice this or not in this lifetime, you're invited to, of course. But whether you do or don't is entirely up to you. One thing that you can know for sure is that there's no going back. That train has left the station, so to speak. So, whatever has landed for you, just recognize that as a message from our inner teacher, the Holy Spirit, and pay attention to that. Act on that in whatever way you are called today. Now, the subscription button is here. If you haven't joined us, please do that. Click that icon. Thank you to those of you who have recently joined us. It's an international community. Yeah, I mean, this is for everybody. It's all inclusive. So thank you for joining me and for your dedication and commitment to your practice, which, as you should know, and I'll say it, I've often said it, it's worth saying again, this is the highest and best offering you could ever make to anyone, anywhere, your dedication and commitment to your practice. So I thank you for that, and I will see you again soon.